Hi, this is Wendy Egan and Kelly Weekland, and we are presenting on the book Brave Girl Eating. It is a family struggle with anorexia by Harriet Brown.
All right, so a quick synopsis of the book. This book is written from the perspective of a mother who is struggling to help her daughter, her 14-year-old daughter, through a diagnosis of anorexia. So the whole book is basically just her going through treatment and coming to terms with the reality of their daughter's anorexia. She talks a lot about the stigma that's attached to anorexia and how they handle that from others. She talks about the Maudsley approach, which is the approach that her and her family decided to use with their daughter. It's a family-based therapy. And then it talks just like daily life with their daughter. Every day they're with her. And then it also goes back and forth between talking about her story, and then she also incorporates a lot of research with that to back up her approach and different things that she's learned about anorexia.
As far as this book being helpful to clients, Kelly and I kind of felt that it might not be the best book for our client as the anorexic to read. It may cause some negative reactions from them because there are many times when the main character, Kitty, is weighed, and the mom also talks about the number of calories that she needs to feed Kitty at each meal. And I just guess I feel that it might be triggering for an anorexic. Also talks about tricks as far as the day that she gets weighed. She sewed weights into her bra just so she would weigh heavier, and they would think that she was gaining the weight that she needed to and not push as many calories.
All right, and then in terms of family and friends, we both thought that this would be a really excellent resource to suggest to family members and friends of clients who are going through anorexia or diagnosed with anorexia. It gives really good signs of what to look for in someone who has anorexia or starting to develop anorexia. It gives a really good description of how serious it really is. It talks about the brain aspect and the mental aspect of the disorder rather than just the physical aspects. And then it also talks about what the family goes through and what that's like being around someone who has anorexia. And then another thing that we liked was the fact that it helps them understand that there's like another entity in their daughter. So she describes her daughter as Kitty and not Kitty. So there's Kitty and then there's anorexia. So that was really useful. And then another thing is just in terms of the family, it just helps them know that they're not alone.
This book had some things in it that might be helpful for clinicians. I also feel if a clinician read this, they'd get a better understanding of the points of view from the actual person with the anorexia, as well as what the parents go through in their daily actions, especially with the family-based therapy. It requires a lot of work on the part of the entire family. And so I think that would be nice for clinicians to see. There's also some resources in the back of the book, article links that clinicians can go to and get some more information. And I guess I feel that this would be very helpful for clinicians.
And then in terms of the spiritual message or underlying redemptive story, there's not really a lot in terms of spirituality in this book. She doesn't touch on it at all, really. But if you're looking at it through a Christian perspective, it's really redemptive in the fact that this family stuck together the entire time, and they they did not want to put their daughter into inpatient, and they were with her almost 24/7, and it was really hard, really hard for them to go through this and to be with their daughter. But it's just a good Christian message of sticking together and putting family first. And then we have this little quote as well that we just threw in there, also for a Christian perspective.
As far as a critique of the book, we both enjoyed the book quite a bit. There were just some issues that the author kind of spoke negatively about. She had a bad experience with one of the therapists to begin with, and so she kind of mocked the so-called experts in the book. Also, she was very leery about sending Kitty to inpatient treatment because she felt that the people in an actual setting like that were crazy and had more mental health issues. And she also was kind of in denial as to the reasons behind Kitty's anorexia. Didn't want to feel like it had anything to do with her upbringing and the parenting. But it's a very good book for family and friends to read.
And then concluding thoughts, I kind of touched on this earlier, but this book is I really enjoyed this book, and it's really good for families to read, just to know that they're not alone if they have a family member who struggles with anorexia, or just to know that there are ways to go about treating it, and really good resources as well. So yeah, overall, we both really enjoyed the book and thought it was helpful.
Tough one to put down.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your watching this, and that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you.